What you need is traffic. So that means creativity and, not spending on ads, but using social media to do that. I mean, that's how I made money. If you're selling something, then you could do media.
Welcome to another edition of the Living Boldly with Purpose podcast. And I'm Dr. B. I'm your host. And when I talk about these podcasts and talk about my ability to do them, I get really excited about guests. And I get excited about actually communicating with folks that have this zest for life. This incredible, it doesn't matter what's happened in my life before. I can't wait for the future to happen. And Matthew Lesko is one of these folks that we'll get to talk to today. I was just at a meeting earlier, Matthew, where we were talking, about the future of real estate and the future of, housing. And one of the comments was there is we can't predict the future. All we can do is deal with it and then go figure out how to make it better. Because so many people get into this, woe is the world's never going to work again, it's never going to be the way it was, we have to go back to the good old days. I was at a church meeting or something, and one of the ladies at the church, she was like, if we could only just go back to the 50s and go back to the good old days. And I looked at her and I said, the 50s were the good old days? Because if you were to ask my mom, who was, picking cotton and dealing with a whole lot of, racial stuff in the 1950s, I don't think she would tell you that the 50s were the good old days. So it's all relative in perspective. And, some people like to go back to, what time it was that they were, I don't know if they were the most happiest. And I think we have selective memories, too. We remember only the good stuff. And if it was real bad, I guess we remember it. But for the most of the time, all the complaining that, folks do that I can remember they were doing in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and they'll go back, the 80s were the good old days. I don't think you thought that when we were going through it, that we were doing. And so we have Matthew on today. I've asked him to tell his story. I told him he could start back with his mama's womb. But I don't think it's going to go that far back, but he can go wherever he wants. Let us know, and then we're just going to chop it up and have some fun, talk about purpose, talk about what it means to live. I know he's 81 years old. And when I think of people that are in their 80s, I work, I do reverse mortgages when I do one of my mortgage companies, so I deal with seniors all the time. I'm going to be 60 this year, so I guess I'm in that category now. But what a breadth of knowledge that you guys have. So I'm going to go ahead and let you take it. Go ahead and, start sharing with us your life, and then we'll just go from there.
We probably will have webcams in the womb, soon.
Yes, anyway. Exactly. Absolutely.
I think in our first birth, we were filming it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did I lose you, or are you still there?
No, I'm still there. I just put you on screen.
That's
okay. I'll go back to.
Yeah, no, like seeing you, because I see your reaction.
Yeah,
an audience. At least you're an audience. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm a schmuck from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Barely got through school, and flunked out of a lot of schools, and not maliciously. I was just entertaining myself. I hated school.
I love it.
And so I felt I had to be the class entertainer.
Okay.
Give me a job to do.
But you got through it, right? Or did you really?
Eventually, and then actually when I finally got out of college by the skin of my teeth, and it was Vietnam. So there was a draft, and I didn't feel like sleeping in the jungle. So I joined the Navy.
There we go.
Clean sheets every night, and that was 3 years, 2 months, and 9 days. Then I came back and got an MBA with GI money and started businesses back in the 70s, and actually even had a software company. My MBA is in computers, and I was a computer professor in town here. I had a computer software company. I tried to start it that failed. I had a couple of businesses that failed, and that was the best thing that happened to me, because I got out of my head all the stuff everybody put into me that I be doing, and none of it worked. Plus, I wasn't having fun. So it wasn't working. I wasn't having fun. This is a terrible life.
Uh-huh.
And I'm supposed to do this again because maybe someday I'll have fun and have money, all this kind of maybe. And I said, that is a crazy way to live. Yeah. And how can I have fun now? Because success, you can't count on that. It'll happen or not. And so having fun now that's when things started happening differently.
Okay.
And from then on, I just keep digging in myself to bring out what's inside of me to bring it out. Like here, the clothes I wear now, that's me inside, and so that was really me. So bringing it out makes me feel more comfortable. And also it attracts people because if you like that, I know I'm going to like you. If you think I'm an asshole, we're saving each other lots of time. When I dressed in Armani custom suits or whatever, I was just attracting, I don't know, bankers or something like that. So, but if they could see, people can see who you are,
Mm-hmm.
then that's your authenticity that creates more friendship and opens people's hearts. I mean, I walk down the street now and people will tell me, "Oh, you made me smile," and I think I have nothing better to do in my life
Mm-hmm.
than to go outside and make somebody smile. Wow. I mean, that's a superpower, man.
It is. It is. And what a change you make in people's lives when you do that.
Yeah.
Because you can make somebody else or have somebody else smile.
Exactly. I mean, what is better? We're all here to help somebody. And the older I get, the other thing I started realizing, this is just recently, last couple of years, is what love is. I never talk. I don't know. You're 60, I'm 80. So in the 50s and 60s, men never talked to love unless you got married or something.
Yeah.
The only time that's what I thought. If I said I loved you, I felt I had to marry you, I guess.
No. So one chance there. Oh my gosh.
I go and now I see it is that now at 81, I feel that's the only thing I could work on.
Mm-hmm.
Guys growing up in our society, everybody wants to get stronger and faster and smarter and all that kind of stuff. At 81, none of that shit's going to get better. But I can love harder. Yeah, I can love better. See, that's one thing I could do forever. And that's what energizes me. And we have a community now of about 15,000 people where we all help each other get government grants. Because I've been studying this for 50 years. And
I can remember you on a whole bunch of infomercials and TV and that kind of stuff for many years. They decided to talk to you today, but yeah.
But even before that was when I started aiming at consumers. I first aimed at rich people. Millionaires. I was helping Fortune 500 companies get millions of dollars to become billionaires. And I said, I didn't know about these programs growing up in Wilkes-Barre, man. I had no idea. I thought the government was the post office, the IRS or something. That was it. And I saw all these programs that are there for anybody, and I was making billionaires out of these millionaires or these programs. I said, why doesn't everybody in Wilkes-Barre know about this stuff? They don't, because we don't train people. And we say that we're a capitalist society. We are just part of it as capitalists. Actually, the other part of our society is what I call the free money economy.
There's free money economy. Okay, I like that.
So we have the capitalist economy that requires your money. Okay. And so that's Google. Google is about the capitalist society. So if you need help, you go to Google and you have to pay people to help you. Okay, now, and that represents, I got a graph here, capitalism represents 60% of everything in our country is capitalism. But 40% is the free money economy. 40% when you add government offices and nonprofit organizations, they all give money to you. That's what they're there for.
But what was that little blue triangle?
That's the nonprofit.
Oh, nonprofits. Okay, nonprofits are the blue and
government and nonprofit together. And so that's what we don't teach people to do. So what happens is people don't have money and they have to improve their life or they're in financial trouble. And so they go to Google and everything there is you need money to play that game.
You
Uh,
do.
so
Absolutely.
to get help from the free money economy, you can't go to Google because you'll never find them. You'll have to go to, anything that's a .gov or a .org. That's the key
Okay.
on the people that are giving you money. And there's a couple of places to start. Let's say you're in the housing stuff. Well, if you go to Find Help, can you go online now?
Right.
You go findhelp.org. Yeah, that's one of the best places in the free money economy is findhelp.org.
Right. And let's see if I can do.
Put in
here.
your code. Yeah, if you got it.
Okay. 80249. I'm putting that in there, and I'm going to see if I can even present some of this here so people can see what we're doing. All right. Yeah, let's see if I can do it on. We'll go here. Let's do here, and then present. Share screen, and go to entire screen, and boom. I don't know if you can see that now. That jumped up.
There it is. Yes.
Good. All right.
Okay. Now you put in your zip code and put search.
Search. Okay.
Okay. Now, when it comes up on the left-hand side, now let's put in rent. So you're into housing. Let's see, put rent in there. Okay. Where do you live? Okay. Is that 54? How many items in there?
Where did it go there? I'm going to take this chat off here. And this is 74 here, 10 out of 74.
We have 74 nonprofit organizations, part of the free money economy, 74 of them in your zip code that give you money to pay for rent. I mean, nobody knows that. Yeah. And you're in the real estate business, so you know about money and real estate.
Yeah. So and then when I was in homeless services, I ran a couple of homeless service organizations, so I knew where most of these were.
Yeah.
But I never went to this site where just findhelp.org, and it came out really fast. Oh,
right.
Great.
74.
This is great.
Yeah.
Holy Ghost Catholic Church provide limited material assistance to people in need of our community. Okay. Yeah. And so you can find help just about anything.
Okay. Let's do another thing that you like to do, and it's people with purpose. Okay. I think that's very important. And I think that is a way to get life better if you have a purpose. If you could wake up in the morning, that's why I feel so selfish or whatever. I wake every morning, I have something bigger than me to do, and that's just the nicest gift in the world. So how do you do that? Okay. To me, one way is you get trained to do something else than you're doing. Okay. Now, if you go backspace on that, fine. So you could go back so we can put a new keyword in there. Okay. Let's stop there. Put in job training. Oops.
Job training. All right. It's coming. There we go. Oh, zip code
again. That's your zip code? Sounds like
80249. Yeah.
Okay. Put search. Okay. Now put job.
Here is where you want job training.
Yeah.
Okay.
277 organizations.
And it says here there are 77.
No, 277.
Yeah, 277. Wow.
Yeah. That all they do is have money and help for you to have better skills to get a job or to do a career that you feel important in. So that's what I mean. See, in addition to paying bills, it's really the free money economy has sources of help for you to have a better life. And so you have all these people, the cutlery, you want to be a chef. I always wanted to be a chef. Okay, Go for free. Get trained to be a chef. And don't go to
Yeah.
Google, because Google will have you all these courses that are going to charge you thousands and thousands of dollars. Yeah.
Yeah, because
And
this just has the number, tells me I'm 16 miles away. It's
yeah,
on Pico Street, and it says, uh, other services with main skills training, interview training, resume development, specialized training, help to find work. This is
right.
really cool.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it frustrates me. That's why I have nothing better to do in my life every day than just if it's
To help
even one,
people find these things.
yeah,
Correct.
find these things,
Yeah.
and that's so important. And we complain and we go, and you're complaining because you're going to to Google, and nobody there is going to
Yeah.
help you unless you have money. So you think the world is against you, and here you have 40% of the economy is there to give you free money and help. Uh, and what we don't know, and we think it's a scam or whatever.
Yeah. We
And the
do
rich,
sometimes all the time. Yeah.
I mean, okay, Trump is going to be president now, and who are his best friends right now? Billionaires.
Billionaires that are not thinking that they're not part of the free money economy. I don't think.
Well, yes, they are.
Oh
That's
my God.
about it.
Are they? Okay.
Elon Musk now gets $5 billion from the government, and he wants more. So that's why
Does
he's
he really?
Trump's best friend, because he knows he
Uh-huh.
could get easiest way for him to get another $1 billion is through a government program, not to invent something or provide a service or anything. It's a lot easier to do this, get a law changed, whatever, that the government will do it all for you. And that's why all these people from Silicon Valley are all over there, all over Washington now, planting their stakes. 10 years ago, they never knew where Washington was.
Now they're
Right.
now, how hard is it? Like these are all out here, and I see that they're there, and
Right.
we have all these legal education, that kind of stuff, entertainment. What is this money really hard to get? Because that's what I've always heard is once you start going down the pigeonhole, by the
Yeah.
time you'll be old, by the time you actually get some money, unless you know the right people.
Yeah. That's like anything is like that. I mean, it's not going to be easy. Well, first of all, if you try to get a job, what are you going to do? Okay, you're going to call one office and fill out a form and get a job? No, you have to make 100 fucking calls, right? So that's life. Yeah. I think what happens is we have well, this is the government, should be easy. No, it's not. It's going to be just like everything else in life. It's going to be a pain in the ass. But if you want to do it, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. You don't have to get free money to get a new life. Don't do it.
That's true.
Always holding a gun to your head, but it's there. I mean, that's the important thing, that you can do that. You have that opportunity to do that, and this country gives you that opportunity to do that. But you have to get out of your mind whatever you think about grants, because it's probably wrong. It could be right. I mean, there are grants that are a pain in the ass, and you probably couldn't fill out an application. But 90% of the grants that individuals need are only 2-3 pages, fill in the blanks. The hard part is finding the right office and finding the right application. That's the thing. And that's what takes phone work. You call those, like all those people on the rent or job training. So you're not sure exactly what you want and so the way to find that and refine that is by calling people. So you call a person who goes to, who's maybe doing chefs to train, but you don't want to be a chef. You want to be a caterer. Oh, but see, by talking to them, they are the best place to talk to find out other people doing that. Like me, if I want to know about mortgage banking, I talk to you. You know about mortgage banking, yeah? Well, I go to Google and put in mortgage banking. What do I get? 2 billion websites.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to teach me anything. Just give me a bigger problem than I thought I had. But I talk to you, and you'll tell me, hey, well, this is what you want. Well, then I'd concentrate over here, and you'd save me a hell of a lot of time. So that's why all these organizations, these are nonprofit organizations, and they're not people like you that get money for your time. These are people that don't charge for their time because they already got paid. They're not trying to get money from you either. See? And that's why they're more important as a source because they're working with people like you, trying to do this every day. And they know other people in the business that do this, and their job, they choose a career to help people, as opposed to most of us choose a career to get as much money as we can.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about like the stuff that I spent money on, in the last few years. Like when I wrote my book, right? How do I get it published? How do I, and everybody, like you said, as soon as you go in here, I want to self-publish my book. You type in self-published, and boom, like you said, 5 billion sites come up, and everybody. And then as soon as you put your name into one, now everybody's calling you every day, all day, trying to help you publish their book for like $1 million. Like now I want to do the audio book. Oh my gosh, I'm scared to put anything out there because I've been trying to do it and figure it out myself, and everybody's going to want to help me. Produce my audio book for, I think the one that I even got my book published at said, yeah, we'll publish your audio book or we'll do it for you for $7,000. I'm like, well, I haven't made that much money in my book yet to be able to afford to do the audio. It's kind of that catch-22 that you do. So
yeah, it is, and that's right. To me, see, and a successful audio book really doesn't depend on the audio book. It depends on your marketing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And that's the key. So, so to me, would it be? I would just get somebody. I mean, go to Fiverr and find somebody for $20 an hour that'll edit this for an audio book. You know how to broadcast, so do it just in your studio there. Do your own audio book. Screw that. Have somebody on Fiverr cut it up for you, and now you have 5 hours, hour, whatever the hell you have. And so, and I wouldn't even package it. I would have it a download so that it eliminates the cost. So you put it on the platforms that sell audio downloads. Yeah.
Well, and Amazon does it, and they don't. I mean, they'll put it up there. They just want to take a portion of every sale, but they'll put it up there for free,
right? So now it says you have to get people to download it. Yeah. So that's the hardest part. Everything else is easy because it just costs money.
Exactly. Everything's easy. Just What about if I want to be a world-class podcaster? So we're doing podcasting now. Can I find? Is there any government help to help me be a great podcaster?
Yes. And the way you would do that, at least me, now we're all different. You have the market. You don't need any money to be a podcaster than what you have now, right? So you just need traffic, right? That's how you become a world traffic. Okay, what I would do is to have somebody bounce this off of. So if you go to this website, America's, AMERICAS, America's, a plural, AMER. How do you spell America? AMERICAS, and then SBDC after that.
SPDC.
S small business SBDC.
Okay. Is there a dot in the?
Yeah, .org.
Okay, so let's jump in here. So let's do America's SPDC. Okay. SBDC.org.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now put in your zip code. Enter your zip code. See it. Okay. So you have a podcast. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. Okay. So now here's free consultants to help you figure out how to market your podcast. That's all they do. Are there any more behind that? Or no, they're so you have a bunch, a few.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of people here in North Metro. That's one of them.
That's right. If one's a pain in the ass, go to another one. Or try them all to see what. Yeah. So you make an appointment to talk to these people, and tell them what you need help with. That you need marketing help. Now, you're in Colorado. Colorado is pretty good with. I just ran in. Colorado has a program I just read about. They said like $250,000 to buy out your boss.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're very hip there, on entrepreneuring. And so, oh, look at all this things. Oh, wow. Okay.
So all the
But yeah,
different places I
yeah.
can go.
And because see, what you need is traffic. So that means creativity, and not spending on ads, but using social media, to do that. And I mean, that's how I made money. Or if you're selling something, then you could do media, but media where you don't buy money. The way I made so much money in books is I didn't buy any of the ads. I had the ads. I'd get people to run them if they didn't have any other ads. So if they weren't making money at that time, you could run my commercial and I'll give you half the money. So
There
there's
you go.
ways, yeah, because that's what a bookstore does. They take half the money, to the
Yeah.
whoever makes the product. So I said, if you sell it, I'll give you half the money. And
Well, yeah,
that's what,
because the traffic is like you said, that's what you need in the marketing side of it. And
right.
we're in the partnership age where all the affiliate programs and everything else, might as well take advantage of them.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
But that's the way to do it. Or, another way to look at that, because you don't have anything to sell, do you, on your podcast? People are coming to your podcast and not selling, and you're not sure how much that is worth if people sign up for your podcast yet, I guess, because you're not selling anything, right?
Yeah, I'm not selling anything other than eventually, coaching and
Right.
everybody's a coach now, right? As am I. And then I have
Well,
books.
no. Well, then
So I
maybe. So maybe it is worth it, but I wouldn't do it until you know what that's worth.
facilitate that.
Yeah,
And the classes, I do classes on helping people start podcasts as well.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, that there is a class, right, on
Mhm.
that? What's the cost of the class?
The class right now is $497 for real estate agents and what do you call them? Real estate agents and financial planners and mortgage people to
Well,
learn how to get leads.
sell that, man. That's a product. It's hard to sell a podcast
Yeah.
because no, I would do that. I mean, it sells, and so you're looking. Oh, then go to these people and say, okay, I want to uh, have an affiliate program of
Mhm.
of giving and have them help you set that up, because it may take you a couple $100 or something to have all the
Mhm.
stuff for them to advertise to their class. Because I mean, you think of anybody who's in real estate or something like that, or financial, but hey, they could make maybe $100 or so by getting you customers, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. You bring me people and you get a certain
Yeah.
cut of it, and yeah,
Right.
I think that's a really good idea because that way I'm not they're driving the traffic to me instead of me
That's
going out there trying to find
That's what you need. They have traffic. You need sales.
it. Yeah, there we go. That candid marketing 101, right?
Marriage in heaven.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So what are you doing now that has you so excited about life? And at 81, you're
Yeah.
not out at a beach somewhere just sipping
Oh.
Mai Tais and Coronas. You're actually
To
helping
me,
people still.
on the beach, I mean, if I need a rest or something like that for a
Mhm,
little bit, but that's why I'm terrible on vacation. Just
mhm.
anything like that. But no, it is solving this puzzle. It's every day I have something new that I'm thinking about. Like I just found out here, America is the poorest country in all the developed countries. So there are 35 developed countries in
Uh,
America. Okay. We're number one in the percentage of poverty. We're like 17%. I know. I mean, that's absurd. How the hell do we
how's
get
that
away?
possible?
I know exactly. I just don't understand how we get away. We also create more millionaires than anybody else.
Yeah, so we just there's this
You
whole
think we should take care of the poor folks first.
oh my gosh, how are we,
uh,
and we
and,
don't have the most people.
right, exactly.
You think like India or something like that would have.
They're all the poor people. Now, this is uh, the millionaires. So we got 24 million millionaires, and China has 6 million, Japan has 3 million or whatever. So we're number one in millionaires and we're number one in poor people. So we're number one.
We have no middle class then.
Yeah, right. Where
Oh
are
my
they?
God.
Well, middle class are getting squeezed
Mm.
because the rich are taking more of the pot of the that we're generating. Here's another chart. So it says that this is wages, in the last 50 years. And that's about when I started 50 years ago. So in 1980 or so, the bottom 90% of us got 70% of all the income, the bottom 90%. The top 10% got 30% of all the income. So this is 1980. Fast forward to 2023, the bottom 90% shrank from 70% to like 55%. And
Wow.
the top 10% grew to about 40 or 50%.
40 to 50%.
Yeah.
Wow. It is squeezing big time.
That's why people are pissed. I feel,
Yeah.
you're working your heart out and you're not getting a piece of the pie.
Yeah, and everybody tries to convince you that there's so much pie left, which I guess if you think of economies that there is it's not infinite amount of money, because it seems like our government keeps making money, but at the same time you go, okay, so how do I get that? Because our education system, I think, fails people. You didn't like it. I have a doctorate, but I don't know if the doctorate that I have is equal to the amount of money that it costs to get it, as far as the salary, what it allows me to do, in the entrepreneur space, I guess it gives me credibility. But if I was working at it as a professor at the university, I'd take many years to pay back what it costs
exactly
for the school to say that I'm smart. And I'm really not that smart. I just know how to work in the systems. I was, this is a great example. I went to Alabama because I do a civil rights tour for Black men to kind of help them move forward.
Cool.
We're going to go again at the end of this month. But I guess minimum wage is $7.20 still. I guess that's the national minimum wage, which I don't know how anybody lives on that. But I asked one of the waiters, because they get the tip, they get a wage plus tips. And he told me he's making $2.20 an hour. I said, so if you don't get any tips, if you work 40 hours, you get $80. I can't imagine a loaf of bread in Alabama is 25 cents. It's still $80. So how do you actually live? He says, I don't. I don't have a car. I ride the bike to work. Or we don't have any money to do anything. And you ask, how do you get out of that? And we say we're in the land of milk and honey and all the opportunity that's there. But for a lot of Americans, it's really not there. You're from Pennsylvania, and you think of, after all the steel mills closed, and where is income in Pennsylvania for most of the people who live there?
And it changed. And when I graduated from high school back in the 60s, people went and worked on the factories were making the equivalent of $100,000 a year. To me, it took me a long time before I was making any of that. The factories gave that to people without degrees, the industrial age. But now that's not possible anymore. So that's why it's about new skills that have to get. And they don't advertise them. That's why showing you what 245 places to get a new skill.
That's where what you're talking about on our website, because you have to adapt with the technology age. A lot of the seniors that I have, like yourself, I'm sure you're not using a flip phone. I had to pull the flip phone from my dad's kicking and screaming. A couple of years ago, he finally got an iPhone. But then this is the crazy part. And I don't know if you're like. So I tell my dad, you need to go get an iPhone. Well, I don't want to spend the money on a phone. Well, Dad, if you want to do FaceTime and Facebook and all that kind of stuff, you need to go get an iPhone. So he's the guy who's going to go make a deal. So he gets like the iPhone 6. I'm like, Dad, you're like 85 years old and you're getting a phone that's this big. How are you going to see anything? So we are still, toggling back and forth. Like, go get another phone, even if I have to pay for it for you. Go get another phone that you can actually see. Because you're like, well, my thumbs, everybody types with their thumbs and they don't fit on that little screen. I'm like, no, Dad. So then he's talking to it. So he calls, we got him a little Alexa, that he can talk to and play his songs and stuff. But he calls her Alexica. And so half the time he doesn't answer. And it's just so fun to watch him, try to, like, he was asking me, I guess one of his friends from church is doing a vacation in New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
So he texts her in New Zealand, and she texts him right back. And he's trying to figure out, How does a text go around the world and back to me in 10 seconds? I'm like, Dad, I know you probably miss science, but this thing, speed of light, is
Yeah.
information. So it's just, well, how does the internet work? It's not on my computer. And I'm like, oh, what's the cloud? And it's so fun with him. But I'm thinking, like you said, skill sets for people.
Yeah.
How do they, how do you function in our world? Well, here's a question I have for you. Like, so we have all this social media, and everybody's watching these, I guess reels and streams, and watching a guy skateboard down the street, and it's got 10 million views, as he's holding a can of pop or whatever it is. But people watch this all day. How they have to stop that in order to do something that's going to improve their lives, right?
That's crazy. Well, maybe they'll get rid of TikTok.
Is there, because right now they're on it, and you go, well, okay, so you want to get government money, or you want to get in, you want to participate in the free economy. Well, yeah, you can watch these videos for free, but until you change who you are, and that's that, and if you're doing 3-4 hours a day of scrolling, if you've been to the restaurants where you watch the family unit all on phones and devices, as if the outside world is way more important than the people across. So how do you do relationships? How are you doing relationships now with the people you're around?
I've been more social than I've ever been in life, just the last couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah. And because I just liked work and family, and that was it. And then we moved downtown in a condominium with 70 units. And I turned into this social animal. I don't know what the hell happened. I throw parties almost a couple times a month. I'll have 2 rock bands out in the driveway, for the whole, condominium setup. And we dance all day, and happy hours all the time. I'll have a Valentine's Day party for all the members. And so, because you live so close to people in apartment buildings, I wanted to get to know them more as individuals. So I don't get in the elevator and look at the what floor are we on, and be able to talk to people. It's like and to me, we turned it into like a dorm. We have people hanging out all the time. People come for a drink and till 2 a.m. And they're young people too. They're not old farts like me. I want to know how to keep fitting in. You get people my age that are just talking about their 401k or a trip to Alaska or some shit like that. That doesn't interest me. I want to know, how do we help each other? How do people help each other? And you could keep doing that until you die. And that's the purpose. Yeah.
Well, can we help each other without relationship? I mean, how important is a relationship?
I think, well, it depends on what you call a relationship. I mean, do I have to marry you?
No. I'm just saying individual connection. You talked about love earlier, and
that my son works with the Surgeon General, and they're working on community. That's what they're trying to do, is get people. We have loneliness problems in our country, and that's a big disease almost. People are lonely. So how do we have a community for people that allows people to interact together and be part of a community, to feel more comfortable in life? Loneliness, is a disease.
Well, and I think people are lonelier and lonelier because we have this on social media.
Right.
We see the best of everybody's life.
Right.
We don't see the downside, right? And so we compare ourselves with all this great stuff that's happening, and then we don't have any friends because all we're doing is watching people's best life. And I think even our younger people are lonelier than folks that are living alone, that have at least have somebody who can call on the phone and talk about themselves. Because I think that's what we're missing, right? You don't get to talk too much unless you just get on social media and tell everybody who you are, but then nobody's interacting with you. They just,
exactly.
There's no feedback.
No, that's what I felt here, the 71. So I got everybody in a big cocoon that we could just interact with each other more. And what kind of party could I have to open the doors for that to happen?
in your chart that you showed us where we're squeezing out where the people, do you think are folks that are making the amount of money, the 40% that are now making, most of the money in our country, do you think they have better relationships than our poverty folks? Or do you think it's opposite?
Absolutely not.
Not, okay.
No.
So
I could see that. I only said it for myself. Okay, walk around like I do with question marks. I go into a high-income neighborhood. People will pretend they don't see me. They don't know what to say. I go into a low-income neighborhood. I feel like the Pope. Everybody's so excited. They don't know me, but just they wear their heart out more. They're more open. Rich people are more afraid to show themselves. That's why when I started going from helping business people, when I give seminars like a Procter and Gamble and all these Fortune 500 companies, I couldn't get anybody to laugh. And it took me weeks later to see they would not show them their emotions in front of their people they work with. They're afraid to show that. But I go speak in the library, man. I got them laughing on the floor, and they so I think that is true. The higher the income, I belong to a fancy country club. I was a golfer as a young person. I had a chance to belong to this fancy country club, probably just a show off to my father. And the people there, they just don't even recognize me at all, except the staff, the people waiting. And unless their kid comes to town in the club and they see the question mark guy. Oh, Dad, I want to make the. So this guy who's another member who hasn't said boo to me in 30 years I was there, even naked in the shower with him, never said anything to me. And now his kid wants to meet me and he pretends he's my best friend.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
That's fun.
That is, it's amazing how people react.
Right.
When you have a name or something, well, they won't even give you the time of day until they need something. Right. When you think of serving others, has that been the joy of your life, your ability to go out and help other people become?
Absolutely. That's the best part of my life. It makes my life worth living.
Yeah. I say the prayer every day, dear Lord, give me, the wisdom to do the thing that pleases you and serves others. Because I truly believe if you're going to be happy or joyful in this life, you have to find a way to serve others.
Absolutely.
Any of the coaching that I do, I say, I want you to become the person that you need to be in order to do what God put you on this earth to do, so purpose in a way that serves others. Because as long as you're just being selfish, as long as you are just trying to do it all for you, you can't. I don't think it's set up that way where you can have true joy and happiness unless you're helping your fellow man.
It's like empty calories.
Yeah, it is. And so when I talk to people about purpose, what purpose are you? What is your purpose in life if it's not serving other folks in some way? You can make money at it. I'm not saying don't make money at serving people, but at the same time,
that's the ideal life. You find out what is your talent that you could give to other people, and figure out how to make a living doing it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. And you've pretty much been able to do that, right? Over your last years of doing this.
Fortunate. And that's what failing at everything else first. And so I love acting crazy. And now I get lots of money for it. Before I used to just get thrown out of school for it.
Wow. Now you get to go out and do exactly what you. What were some is your purpose, has it changed, or is it just kind of evolved into the same?
I'm not that smart to think of it or plan, but as I grow older, the important thing I try to keep remembering is that your heart is smarter than your brain.
I like that.
Yeah.
Heart is smarter than
you have to listen. You got to have a brain to think so you don't go off a cliff or some stupid shit. But we try to be so smart and get expert advice, and nobody can tell you what to do. Your heart tells you what you should be doing.
And then you need to follow your heart, right? You can't just, try to logically think your way out of some of the things, which I think so many people try to do all the time.
Well, you get advice. See, you want advice. And then people are going to tell you, don't do that because you're going to fail. But if you really want to do it, you have to go and fail.
That was my next question. I was going to ask you, what's the importance of failure? And
It's the only important thing.
yes,
If you're not willing to fail, you're not willing to do anything. It's like learning to walk. You're going to learn something new, like walking. I mean, if you have a kid, you have 87 of them or something. They have to fall on their butt 100 times. And if you told the kid as soon as he's trying to take a step, you don't do that, you're going to fall. But when they become a grown-up, you say, no, don't do that. You're going to fail. Yeah.
is there a point you should give up?
What? Oh,
Is
yeah.
there a point you should
Beat
give
up
up?
on, sure, of course. Yeah. Keep your heart open because they'll tell you how dumb you are too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because at some point you realize this was a dumb
Right.
idea. I probably shouldn't do this, and then
Well,
go do something that you really want to do, right?
I would think that it's something you forced yourself to do because you saw it somewhere in the movie or something.
Yeah.
And you didn't listen to your heart enough. That was secretly telling you, don't do this, you stupid shit.
Yeah, my college roommates used to come up with all these like invention ideas, and we used to just okay, he wanted to make like one of them was like an electric towel where you put the wires in the towel and go to the beach. Like electricity on a towel with water might not be the best idea.
You're gonna be cooking hot dogs.
Oh my gosh! I can imagine falling asleep on the electric blanket in the beach and on your towel trying to dry yourself off. The other one was magnetic confetti. So it'd be easier for people to clean it up.
Oh.
It sticks on everything that's metal. Because if it's an actual confetti, the card drives by. Does that mean it's a confetti card when it drives by? So, but that's where ideas start, right? You have to have ideas. You have to put them out there.
Absolutely, and get out there and fail.
Yeah, get out there and fail. So I have a question. I just saw this. I was going to ask you where you did with this suit that I just saw a picture of.
Don't know. Somebody's selling my book somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, well, this is you, right? And so this
that's about
you have this blue suit on here. So you keep all those suits from your days? Or?
No. I thin the herd out every now and then.
Oh my gosh! So you have to have those specially made. I mean, you don't go to like Target and buy your wardrobe, right?
But I get it in Vietnam. The same people who were trying to kill me 50 years ago now are making suits.
They're making suits. Oh gosh!
But if people are looking for me, don't look for books. Find leskohelp.com.
Okay, that's good.
That's where to find me.
Yeah, for somebody else's, I don't even know that this is on. That I just found the book, but somebody's thrift books. That's what the bookstore, I guess, trying to sell your book for on free money for $6.59. They only got 7 left, so go to Let's Go your site and actually get it. I think
that's 7 more than I have.
Well, this one had this side here. I'll show you this one. This one's got all kind of.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, you're super popular on this site. They got them all.
They all have to be 20 years or more old.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's so cool that you've been able to help. How many people do you think have been able to take your information? Do you have any idea and actually get government money and get government?
I mean, I sold 4 million books. I don't think a whole lot of people did anything. Sort of like diet books, people get a diet book and they don't lose weight. But now on the service, the community we have, lots of people. We got thousands of people, even testimonials like that, just in a short time, and because they're helping each other do this, and so you don't have to read anything. They just, hey, I did this, you could do it too. Here's how to do it, and where people are helping other people get the money.
Well, that is so good. And how much money does the government have to give out?
It's about $4 to $5 trillion every year.
Every year.
And in cash that gives out comes to about $18,000 per person every year.
Really? Okay. And of that, how much of that amount of $1 trillion Like, does Elon Musk get like 80% of it, or
He's trying.
he's trying to? He is absolutely trying to
Yeah.
capitalize on
Absolutely.
all those amazing things. Man, as we're kind of winding down, what are the things we didn't talk about that you would love to share with this
Oh,
audience?
no, all the good stuff. You got all the good stuff.
Did I? Okay, good. Good. I tried to. I love your background. And are you at a?
I'm at home. Yeah.
Oh, you're at home. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
An
That's
apartment,
the way,
in the
that's the
condo.
way to do it.
Yeah.
That is the way to do it. And the best site again. What's the best site to get to you? And
Leskohelp.com.
Leskohelp.com, and that's LESKOHELP.com. And let me just go there right now so people can kind of see. I wish I could type. Oh my gosh. I can't wait till we never have to see a typewriter. And I speak most of the time, like when I wrote my book, I spoke to the Google thing and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how to do it when I'm talking to somebody else. I can't just start talking to the computer and tell it to come up with the site while I'm talking to you at the same time. So I have to, right. So this is your. Oh, let me share it here so people can see it. And sometimes I'm just slower than I need to be.
That's me.
There we go. Americans need more money. Government giving out average of 18. There you said 1867 person. Here's how to get your share. Plus this month, you're giving away $75,000 of your own grant. How do we get your grants?
That's for members. What we do is take our profits, and we give about 40% of our sales goes back to members as profits, and so they apply.
Good.
Yeah. So I'm really shocked I'm able to do that. I thought you had to be Jeff Bezos or somebody to do that, but no.
Yeah, I love it. This is a great site, great funnel. Talked about the payments to individuals, 4.84 trillion. Oh, this is some good stuff. And then you have all these testimonials and stuff. So you guys need to go to the site. You notice he has several different color suits. All his glasses go with his suit. So he's fashion.
I got a half a dozen.
Gosh.
So yeah.
So you, like Matt Lesko, can never get LASIK, because if you get LASIK, it takes away from your wardrobe.
Right, exactly. Fashion statement.
Yeah, well, I guess you can still wear the lenses that don't have prescriptions in them.
Yeah.
And still be able to do that. Well, this is great. I mean, we got green, red, blue, every kind of suit. But here's what I can promise you by listening to Matt today is he is 81 years old, and he is still doing everything in his power to help you achieve your goals and to achieve your purpose. And I just thank you for doing that. I thank you for so much enthusiasm. I thank you for your energy, and that you're able to get up every day with a purpose of, I'm going to go out and I'm going to help people, achieve their dreams. And I'm going to do it through a lot of it through the free economy, and which is huge because it's there. And we should be taking advantage of it. And so people just really don't have too many excuses other than they're just not willing to do what's out there that can help them do it. I mean, that's pretty much the bottom line is they'd rather watch, television shows, watch other people pretend and make a ton of money and pretending they're having life. They'd rather watch. And I'm not saying any of this sport, shows are bad or sports are bad. But I'm saying if you're broke and wishing that you could make more money, or you're wishing you could live in your purpose and you're doing those things, if you know more about who's going to be playing in the Super Bowl this year and their stats than you know about your own kids, then we have an issue there as well. And so thank you again for taking your time to be on my show, and we'll get this out and we'll be able to help others as much as we can. Matt, you've been on my TV for 50 years. You've been in my life for 50 years. I finally get to thank you. I know I have at least one of your books somewhere. I'm not saying I didn't do anything. I tried, And I have gotten some, especially when I was working in nonprofit. I was able to
You're
find
helping
a
other
whole bunch of
people
different.
who need it. That was good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again. I'll
All
talk
right.
to you soon.
All
Take
right.
care.
You guys have a great day. Don't forget your God's greatest gift. He loves you if you allow him to. And we'll look forward to talking to you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and then do notifications, because you're going to find somebody that you resonate with. You guys have a wonderful day.